This is how to know if your crush wants you back. Does my crush like me? Ultimate blueprint. Leave a like on the video, my love, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe to receive new advice. Do this to help the channel continue to grow. Leaving a like is all I ask as a gift. If you have a crush on someone and you kind of feel that they might like you back as well, stay around for this video because we are going to deliver the many signs and things that someone does if they like you back. Of course, you want to know the outcome of this video because you need to know whether you can pursue this person or if you just have to leave them and kind of find someone else. My name is Pamela Raquel. Have an amazing day, and enjoy the video. The subtle, very subtle, eyebrow raise. When we look at someone that we are interested in, we become so fascinated in whatever it is they are doing or anything that they are saying. So naturally, we raise both of our eyebrows to say, like, ah, interesting. So, if you notice that your crush raises their eyebrows when you talk, now it's going to be subtle, but it's a sign that they are definitely taking you all in and are very drawn to what it is you have to say. They act nervous around you. When we hang out with someone that we crush on, we get a little bit fidgety and a little bit nervous. Some telltale signs are the excessive fidgeting, constantly adjusting their clothing, moving things around the table, looking down a lot, and trying to actively avoid major eye contact, and also talking faster than usual. You will be able to subconsciously pick up on these signs, so don't worry, this one's pretty easy. You will notice they preen themselves a lot. This ties in nicely to the previous tip. We pride ourselves when we want to make sure that we always look good, specifically in front of someone we fancy. Therefore, we become very self-conscious, and we really want to correct how we look. So, you can expect your crush to be adjusting their clothing a lot, checking their reflection out in the mirror, adjusting their hair, and potentially picking lots of pet hair off their clothing. They never stop talking with you on social media. You may wonder why they are so talkative on social media, yet in person, they don't really make that much of an effort to really talk to you a great deal. Now, one of these reasons could be that they are just so attracted to you that they actually blush around you in person. Or, if the person is very chatty with you in person and even more so on social media, it's a sign they can just not resist talking with you. They will enter your personal circle. We are naturally very aware of our personal circle, and when a stranger enters and gets too close to us, it makes us want to step backwards. It gives us a bit of a disgust look on our faces. However, if your crush has been entering into your space, perhaps they have touched you a couple of times, they've brushed your legs, or they've kind of touched your shoulder and bumped into you, this is all a sign that they secretly admire the touch of you. Because someone that accidentally enters into a personal circle is very well aware of it, they will say, "I am so sorry." Maybe they want to reach across us to grab something on the tube. Now, they will say sorry and then continue what they're doing, but if your crush does not apologize, it's a sign they want to get into your personal circle because they really do like you. They remember the important details. Do they remember the last conversation that you guys had together? And do you act a little bit surprised that they asked how the barbecue went at the weekend on Monday morning because you only mentioned it briefly on the Friday afternoon? When we are attracted to someone, we find them so important, including all of the information that they tell us. Their torso is always pointed towards you, my friend. We naturally point our torso and our feet towards the people that we are most comfortable or attracted to in the room. So, scan around and find out where your crush's feet are pointing, because if they're pointing in your direction, it means she's very connected to you. You may notice the head is completely adjusted to the side, talking to someone else, but as long as her body is in your direction, it's a sign. They get closer and closer. Not only do we find our crush is very important, but we can just not have any moments without them. If you notice that your crush always tries to stand or sit next to you, say during lunch breaks or at the work meeting, or they're always hanging around you when you go out in public when you do little things together, it's definitely a sign that she's interested in you. Their brain has become so focused on you that they want to be as close to you as possible to try to seduce you. They copy you. You may notice that they have the same drink that you go for at lunchtime. You may also notice that they seem to want to sit where you always sit, even if you don't have the same lunch breaks. You will notice when you get up to get a drink, they will do the same. Naturally, we mimic those around us that we are interested in to feel very comfortable with. It's a subconscious sign that a lot of humans do without even realizing it, but when you've picked up on it, it will make you giggle at how amazing mimicry is. Now, this doesn't just apply to her all-over posture and the way that she's sitting. It could be the way she's talking. Has she started to use slang words, a certain type of emoji that you always use? If so, it's a great sign. They act very different when you are with someone else, that awful sinking feeling when your crush is talking to someone else that could be a potential threat to you in the relationship is very awful. So, you can actually nicely test your crush to see if she likes you back by gently manipulating the situation. Notice, how does your crush act when you go over and talk to another potential lady or guy? If they become very cold and distant, it's because they are low-key moody. If they come over as if they are trying to compete for your attention, well, that's an obvious sign. They always reply to your messages, not just the messages where you ask an actual question, and you're waiting for a response, but I'm meaning perhaps you have closed the conversation. You've possibly responded with, "Hey lol, that's funny," or just an emoji. However, your crush will find a way to keep that going because they want to have a continuous conversation with you. Their friends act weird when you guys are all together, and their friends come along. It's obvious we tell our friends who are crushes, and obviously, that person's friends also know. So, they are going to act a little bit awkward, a little bit strange when you guys are seen together. And this will be the same for your friends too. So, monitor how their friends are acting when you guys are talking with each other. If they are very much locked onto YouTube, judging you like this, and they become a little bit suspicious as if they are trying to get the relationship to work out, it's a huge sign. But if you get strange friend requests of those you've never met before, but it happens to have a mutual friend that is your crush, well, this is another sign. They ask about your relationship status. If this person asks you if you're single, and then asks a little bit of information into your romantic life to kind of tap their way in and find out what your ex-partner was like, how long you guys were dating, if you were serious, then this is them hoping to find out all of this information to make sure that you are emotionally available and someone that they can date. They don't want to see you struggle. Of course, we all like to help someone out from time to time. However, you will find that naturally, someone that fancies you will do a lot more than the average person. We want to show our crushes that we are very heroic and that we are amazing people in every single way to nicely manipulate them into thinking that we are amazing so they date us. So, pay attention to your crush. Do they seem to want to always help you out with something? Are they asking if they can do something, offering money, offering to clean your car? No matter how small it is, something very small like this is them basically saying, "Hey, I'm awesome. I'm helping you out." This is some direct attention. Let's go on a date and see where we end up. The conversations turn deep quickly. We would find it very strange if a stranger turned around us in the queue and told us that they were struggling with a UTI. However, when we are head over heels with someone that we like, our crush ends up talking about some strange personal things, and then we might scratch your head and think, "Hang on a second, I probably shouldn't be listening to this conversation." It's a little bit strange, but the reason we feel so comfortable with our crushes is because, well, we are ready to build our life with them. We want to open up and tell them everything. So, be mindful and ready to hear some personal information or even something secretive that no one else knows apart from you. This is a big sign that your crush likes you back. Their behavior is different around you. Everyone flirts a little bit differently, but on a very generic, default level, when we are around our crushes, you will notice that we become uber kind and very humble, and ask lots of questions, and really put on the best impression that we can. You will notice your crush will laugh along with you to your jokes, even if they aren't that funny. They would be super nice. They'll put lots of effort into what they are wearing. A big sign is if your crush is wearing aftershave or perfume for a very normal event, for example, Tuesday morning at the office. If Sally walks in smelling like a Dior department store, well, that's your side, my friend. If you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or something else to let me know, to confirm that you've received the knowledge from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and share it later. Let's continue. 9 powerful ways to make her miss you. Easy and effective tips that also build attraction. The basic rule for attraction is that you need to make someone think about you a lot of the time, and then they become, how do we say it, very obsessed, and naturally they will fall a lot harder and a lot quicker for you. And I'm sure that you have felt this before. You cannot get a certain person out of your head despite doing as many things as you can to completely erase them from it. Once someone is stuck up there in your head, it's kind of hard to get them out. So, let's talk about how you can do this to get a woman constantly thinking about you. My name is Pamela Raquel, and welcome to the channel. Always flirt with her. Flirting gives the other person direct attention and makes them feel good, and naturally, if you make someone feel good about themselves, they are going to think about you a lot of the time. So the best ways to flirt is to tease her but also make her giggle as well. What you don't realize is the way that you make her laugh will replay over and over inside her head when you guys are not together. Do not make them a priority, despite what you want to do here. You have to be able to pull away and still focus on living your own life. It could be going to that sporting event, going to that night class, or working extra shifts at that job. Of course, you always want to be available to women to go out and date with, but you need to maintain your own life so that you have this mysterious uncertainty about you, and you become much more attractive. If you maintain your usual daily schedule, the reason for this is because a woman will see that you are a high-value man, which makes you much more attractive and therefore she will think about you more often. So as much as you want to cancel going out with the guys, do not do that. Continue to live your life and see her when you have the time. Compliment her in a meaningful, emotional way. Even to this day, after being in a long-term relationship, there are still compliments that I remember back from when I was dating many moons ago. And you know what? Those compliments are always replaying in the back of my head because they were so good. And if you can deliver compliments like this, she is guaranteed to always think about you. So what makes a compliment awful to being memorable? And that is how much emotion you put into it. If you compliment her on her appearance, well, she's just going to ignore you completely. However, if you avoid the way she looks and compliment her on her intellect, or perhaps the way she dresses, or a skill that she has learned, she is going to appreciate this much more and definitely keep you at the top of her noggin. Don't be too strong with the emotions. It's so easy to get carried away when we feel head over heels about someone, and before we know it, we haven't seen our friends or our family for months because we want to hang out with this person. But you are actually holding yourself back if you deliver on these emotions. Of course, you can display them and let this person know that you like them, but don't go overboard. Don't go singing it from the rooftops or serenading this person with an acoustic song outside their apartment block at 2 a.m. It's something that you have to hold back from because remember, the more uncertainty that you give a lady, the more she is going to think about you. Surprise her. Women love routine, and a lot of the time when it comes to dates or long-term date nights, they end up putting a lot of planning and thought into them. However, turning around and surprising her with a romantic picnic or even just a night drive, she is always going to be thinking about this moment, I promise you. And it doesn't have to be something fancy, okay? It could literally be, hey, it's 11 p.m. at night, I'm gonna pick you up, get your favorite milkshake, stay in your pajamas, it's okay, I'll pick you up and we can go take a look at the stars. Ignore the routine. Remember, I just said it, women absolutely love routine, so you need to change things up a little bit and get her thinking about you unexpectedly. So you need to be as elusive as you can without causing distress, obviously. Sometimes texts in the morning are a great thing, but then sometimes don't text her in the morning. Sometimes don't even call in the evening. Therefore, you have this push and pull, and it's going to keep her guessing about how much you really feel, and this is going to start the chasing process. And in female behavioral psychology, women absolutely love to chase people they are attracted to. The chase, it's something that our brains have been made to do. Remember to take your time. You have all the time in the world with this person if you are going to be with them long term, so there's no need to rush. Hormones are going to be racing at the speed of light, and you are going to be very desperate to continuously shift things along a couple of gears. I get that, but instead, you need to slow down because you don't want to cause passion burnout. You need to build that sexual tension between you both for as long as you possibly can. It will make her obsess over you and keep the burning passion going and make her think literally about you all the time, non-stop. Make sure it's for long-term reasons. I shouldn't really have to address this, but it's probably a good idea that I do, in case someone takes what I say from this video as a very matter of fact. You should only be using these tips in today's video if you want to date this lady long-term because, well, it's going to be very unfair for you to meet a lady, have one date, and then use all of these tips and tricks in the video and then have her craving over you when you really are just like, you know what, it's just a date type thing, friends with benefits, not too interested. So make sure you only use this on someone that you are hoping to build a strong relationship bond with. Make sure you engage in deep meaningful conversations. When it comes to dating a lady, one of the biggest things you have to remember is she is an emotional creature. If you can make her feel okay with her own emotions and she feels that she can emotionally connect with you, she's going to want to stay with you for the long haul. So some ways you can do this is to let her talk, but really listen to the things that she says. Sometimes, I get it, listening to a woman can be a little bit boring and mundane because they talk about a lot of things quite a lot of the time. However, if you can just say, "I've got 20 minutes, talk to me, tell me, how was your day," she will absolutely love this. So, if you can let a lady feel that it's okay for her to spill out her emotions to you, which is a natural thing for a girl, she isn't going to feel she has to hold back. And obviously, this, teamed up with everything else in today's video, is going to make her constantly obsess and think about you, plus it's a great setup for a long-term relationship. I know from a personal factor that if I was able to date a guy, and it was only the start of the relationship, we were going on a couple of dates, nothing too serious yet, he made the time for me, and he let me complain about my job to him, he let me complain about my neighbors playing music or having barbecues at 10 o'clock at night when I'm in bed, hungry, feeling like I want to have a burger, then that makes me feel I can have a strong relationship with him, and therefore I know that this person is a great candidate to date long term. Remember, that's the goal. If you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or something else to let me know, to confirm that you've received the knowledge from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and share it later. Let's continue. How to be more attractive by improving your personality, become instantly more likable and inviting. We aren't just attracted to someone's looks, their status, or even the things that they own, but their overall personality, because having a pleasant personality actually makes you a lot more successful on dates but also in everyday life situations. This is because those around you treat you better due to how your personality resonates with them. Even if you feel that you don't already own these personality traits from today's video, the good news is that you can actually teach them to yourself to adopt them, so you are very much more attractive. My name is Pamela Raquel, and stay tuned for today's video. You need to have optimism. An optimistic person, on average, is professionally more successful. They are more willing to work through things to achieve greatness. They have an overall positive outlook on life. They are physically healthy, or they may end up suffering an injury or being diagnosed with a condition. However, they are so optimistic that they don't let this stop them. They are more likely to jump over this hurdle and just enjoy everything life has to offer without feeling they have restrictions or limitations. Someone that has extroverted qualities manages a lot better in social situations. As expected, they are overall happier and willing to venture outside of their comfort zones to seek new opportunities. Naturally, optimistic people provide much better compliments. They feel a lot more genuine when we hear them. As for introverts, sadly, their compliments may sometimes come across with a twist of sarcasm. Another attractive trait is confidence. Confidence is possibly the most attractive trait, and that is because it helps other people around you relax, and also they can springboard off of your social status. Confidence is not to be confused with arrogance, though. They are two completely different things. An attractive confidence is someone that stands up for what they believe in, can admit when they are at fault, and they are willing to push through doing something in order to gain potential, even if that means they don't have support from anyone around them. Being confidently you is very attractive. It shows that you enjoy just being you in your own skin. You are ready to focus on another person instead of being tied up about your own weaknesses and self-doubt. A confident person asks many questions and is willing to learn and to grow, and this is attractive from a relationship point, as it means that a confident person is more willing to make your relationship work by working through those compromises. Well-maintained emotions, emotional maturity, and availability are very attractive. It means someone doesn't lose their cool easily, and they can work through their own problems. They don't melt under pressure in those stressful situations, and they are able to work through those painful moments to come out alive on the other side. Of course, it means if someone has this attractive trait of their personality, they are not going to be a narcissist, which is someone you need to always avoid. Another attractive trait is being a master of social skills. Someone that is able to introduce themselves to a stranger or ask for the bill at a restaurant without breaking into a nervous sweat is an attractive person. Social skills are very important in everyday life, friendships, work partnerships, and also romantic relationships. It means that someone can handle themselves in their own conversations, they are confident with their body language, they use positive hand gestures or facial gestures, and they make sure that everyone in the group is joining in and included in the conversation, and they never give off negative vibes. Listening to other people, that's right, listening made it onto this list, and it's probably a shocker because, well, we live in a world where people are ferociously shouting about their lives on social media, desperate to be listened to. However, not willing to sadly listen to other people. Listening is literally showing up in front of someone, taking it all in, paying attention to what they say, what they are interested in, their dreams, their goals, and giving that person direct attention. It shows that you are a great worker, but more so a friend or partner, because when people feel listened to, they are able to open up emotionally and offer you more in return. Having a sense of humor, better known as not taking life too seriously, is considered very, very attractive. If you are someone that can laugh at themselves instead of feeling humiliated when something doesn't go to plan, or you make a mistake, this is very attractive. People want to hang around with those that aren't too serious because it means life is just easier. Plus, it makes you better equipped for meeting new people, new work friends, or even dates, because humor removes the awkwardness from talking with strangers, which means you are more likely to have successful dates because people don't feel too awkward. Honesty. An honest person is someone that can own up to their faults, and they are quick to be honest, because canceling plans last minute or just not showing up at all is a big sign of dishonesty, and it's very, very unattractive. However, if you are able to quickly tell someone that you can't make the arrangements because you are busy doing something or whatever reason cropped up, you are far more respected. Also, honest compliments are greatly considered very attractive, because if a girl asks you if she looks nice in her outfit yet you don't think she does, instead of being very direct and telling her she looks awful, you can say, "You know what, I think I prefer you in the red dress instead, because that's my favorite." Another brilliant trait is someone that can bring out the best in those around them. This is probably the second biggest attractive trait aside from confidence, and that is when you are able to recognize the good in someone else. For example, if someone is introduced to you and you slightly know of them, you can say, "Oh my, Chris, I've heard some great things about you. Is it true you did this thing and this many years ago?" This is a huge turn on because it shows those around you how humble and kind you actually are. So this means you show an interest in other people and you don't choose to always talk about yourself or your own achievements. An attractive personality is one that makes those around them feel better by just being in that person's company, feeling positive and smiling a lot. Yes, smiling doesn't really count as a personality trait, but it's an expression of feeling happy, which does tie in very closely to optimism. If someone is able just to maintain a smile, it really brightens up the whole room. It means they are approachable with their body language, therefore, people feel calmer to approach them, but also it shows that they really care about the other person, because, let's say, for example, you went to a job interview and you had two bosses. If one boss didn't smile at you but one boss did, you're going to feel a little bit alleviated of your nerves with the boss that is smiling. And this is how you see it from a dating perspective. This isn't classed as a personality trait per se, but it means you are more likable when that first initial introduction phase happens. So if you are someone that doesn't smile too much, actually invest in smiling. Obviously, if you have a nice smile, then smile, because we all have nice smiles, we just seem to think that we don't. So, your homework until tomorrow is to smile as often as you can. If you've made it this far, my love, comment below with the word 100% or something else to let me know, to confirm that you've received the knowledge from the video so far. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video and share it later. Let's continue. This is your sign it's time to tell her you like her and ask her out. Should I ask her out, guide? When is the right time to ask someone out? It's a tricky question with a very tricky answer, and sadly, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation, because it's a case of psychoanalyzing your current situation with your crush and then kind of going from there. To make things a little bit easier, you do need to see some positive signs that he or she is delivering. This video is going to give you lots of those signs so that you know that you can ask someone out without having that fear of rejection, not really being too sure if they like you back or not. And of course, if someone does not like you and doesn't show you any of the signs in today's video, then it's best to just leave them be. There would never be a relationship between you both. And of course, if someone does like you, it doesn't really matter if you should wait 3 days or even 3 weeks to ask them out, because you need to make sure that this person has this urge to want to talk to you, and you both obviously have that need to make sure you are building lots of attraction, sexual attraction between each other. So, in the meantime, the longer you wait, the more passion is going to be burning, but the more signs from today's video that this person displays, the bigger the chance that this person is attracted to you and they most definitely want you to be a thing. My name is Pamela Raquel and welcome to the channel. They have asked about your relationship status. It's a question that you don't just randomly ask someone, because if you do, naturally, it's because you are interested to find out about their dating situation for your own benefit. So, listen out for this question where they want to know if you are single, and they also want to know what your previous relationship was like in case they can't live up to a previous standard of someone that you've dated, or if they need to know if they would potentially be a rebound because you're not quite over your ex. They have made it clear that they are single. This is the person indirectly telling you that they are available. They make it very obvious and say that they are single and that they are hoping to find Mr. or Mrs. Right. They do the very subtle thing of hinting they have deleted all of their dating apps and how they just miss having a relationship and those deep night conversations with a partner. They don't talk about other interests. If someone is only interested in you, you will notice that they never bring up another person that might fancy them. They don't even talk about other guys or even talk about other women. They don't want to suggest there's any competition because they are solely trying to be exclusive to you. So, listen out for this because they will drop very subtle hints inside the conversations. They always help you out. If there is a certain someone that always wants to help you out to achieve something small or even to help you with a mundane task, it's a big sign that they are interested in you and trying to make a good appearance. You may notice that they are more willing to offer to do things with you that you know they would normally find boring. For example, you may say, "I'm actually going fishing at the weekend," but the lady turns around and says, "Never been fishing before, but you know what, it might be pretty fun. I'll grab my boots." But you know deep down that she would most always definitely turn this down and say it was boring. This is because this person is trying to put on a big impression to make sure that you guys are compatible, and that is a sign that it's a good time to ask this person now on a date. They're always wanting to take pictures with you. If someone gets out a camera or tries to take a selfie, then smushes you into the frame, it's because they really want to have a long-lasting impression with you. It's a great time to ask them out. They always hint at going out with you. If there are lots of jokey comments about going out together for dinner or going on holiday together, or maybe they even suggest that you guys do something that isn't considered romantic, it is still them beating around the bush, kind of waiting to see how you feel, trying to get you to go on a low-key date, but not a date type thing. Their friends always act a little strange. Now, this will not apply to every person watching this video. However, if you guys share the same friend group or you work together, notice how the work colleagues or friends act when you two are together. If they act a little bit strange, as if they are forcing this person, like if that happens, you need to ask this person out pretty much instantly because the friends already know about you and everyone is rooting for you guys to get together. The hot and cold behavior. A woman tries to test a man's attention by ignoring him to see how he responds. So if you notice that one day she's all over you and joking with you, then the next day she's completely switched off and cold, it's because she's trying to get you to come over to her to make an effort because she doesn't know if you like her. In this situation, if you come over and say, "I know what you're doing. I really like you. Let's date," she will be over the moon. She always tries to be alone with you. You may have a situation at work, but you guys need to go off and do something together, and she always suggests that it's just you guys doing it alone. Or if you hang out in a friend group, it's always her suggestion that you two go off and do something, even if it's subtle. For example, "Help me at the bar get the drinks for everyone else," or "Can you come to my house on Saturday before we go to the beach?" She's always trying to have that one-on-one time with you. This person is always in touch. When we like someone, we can't help but think about them all the time. So, you may notice she's always hitting up your phone, tagging you in memes, or sending you work-related office jargon, which makes you question, why is Becky sending you emails at 10:30 in the afternoon about Tuesday's meeting? Leaves you thinking, is she doing this on purpose because she really likes a job? What does she fancy me? She fancies you, bud. Another big sign is that they tease you because teasing is a surefire sign of flirting. They are directing the conversation towards you and giving you full attention, and it's building that humor of banter. Teasing is a great way to just relieve the tension and have a great time with someone. It's a big sign that they are interested, and when you notice this, it's a good time to start thinking about the other signs in the video to see if they really do like you. They are always talking about things that you have in common. When someone fancies you, they will try to make themselves appear more compatible towards you, or you will notice that this person slightly changes their interests or talks about the things that they know you are interested in to come across as more compatible in a relationship with you. If you both love politics, you will notice the conversation always sways towards politics. If you both like Lord of the Rings, you will notice that the conversation goes towards the film or the novels. They ask about important people to you. Naturally, we become very curious about the person we fancy, so expect them to want to know more about your friends and your family. At this point, they are trying to get to know you on a deeper level, so it's a great time to ask them out. They may ask you simple questions, for example, where did you grow up, what your parents are like. So, don't ignore this sign because it's a sign they are very interested and trying to figure out what the future parent-in-laws are like. The compliments. Complimenting someone is a pretty obvious sign, isn't it, that someone has interest in you? So, you need to analyze the compliment that they are giving you. It could be generic, where they're just saying, hey, that haircut looks pretty good. Or, if they give you an emotional connection during this compliment, it's a huge sign that they basically want you to ask them out. For example, they may say, I can't believe you spend so many hours in the evening building this personal project. That is amazing. Tell me more. I'm so interested. Keep going. Now, this is a more unique compliment because they have invested their time and realize how much time you have put into something. This is a very deep emotional connection that they have with you, which basically means you need to ask them out. They try to make an effort with your friends. When we are trying to build a life together with someone, we want a lot of the people in that close circle to also like us. We try as hard as we can to be compatible on so many levels, so you may notice that this person tries to include themselves in a group date with your friends, or perhaps if you guys are playing games online together, this person is very chatty towards your friends to make a great impression so that your friends may turn around and say, that person's pretty awesome, and why are you guys not dating yet? They are constantly hanging around you. We just can't help it when we are close to our crush, we just want to hang out with them all day. So if you guys work together, you are going to notice this person is always lingering around you, trying to extend conversations and drag out the work meetings just so they can maximize that beautiful time with you. Oh, you will even notice that the conversations on Facebook Messenger never really seem to die. They get dragged out a lot, and you may notice you may end a conversation, and then 20 minutes later, they are asking you more questions. There's a lot of eye contact. Just like we can't help it, we have to get close to our crushes, we can't help but engage in intimate eye contact. So, expect this person to be engaging in strong eye contact that lasts longer than 3 seconds, and if you stare back at this person with the same amount of intensity, and they continue to stare, it's a big sign that you are both attracted to each other equally, and yeah, you need to go on a date and figure out if you guys are compatible. They try to touch you. Physical intimacy is something only reserved for those that we are in a relationship with or trying to get into a relationship with. Therefore, if this person is trying to physically engage with you, it's a big sign of interest. Naturally, we pull away when a stranger enters into our personal circle, for example, in a queue or if they reach across to get something off a shelf in a store, we are very much like, whoa, go back over there, lady. So, we are very conscious of how close we are next to people, which makes sense because when we go on a train together, we don't always sit right next to a stranger, do we? We choose to go to the empty seat, or at least leave a gap between you and the stranger, but if you notice that this specific person is always closing in that gap and trying to touch you and get very close, it's a big sign that you need to ask them out because you may potentially have bagged yourself a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Thank you for getting to the end of the video, that really means a lot. And something that you can do to really make my day is to subscribe to the membership on our channel. The link in the description bar below will tell you more about what that entails, but specifically, you get your name up on our superfan board right here. These are some amazing people that support the channel every single month. If you appreciate the amount of content that we are pumping out on a weekly basis, then this is a great way to say thank you. I really hope you have an amazing day. See you in the next video.